It's a groovy time for a movie time. So grab your gal and grab a seat. But don't forget to get something to eat. Delicious meat and nutritious meat.
You can't beat my meat for a special treat. Sucking on me is really neat.
Don't be a jerk and don't be a fool. Be a good neighbor and follow these rules.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Remember to keep your
My name is Lauren Murphy. I'm currently 37 years old. And what I love about movies, I suppose, is the experience. You know, even though I know how the entire process works, just sitting in the theater and having the lights go down and the picture come on the screen, it still feels like magic. Like, even after 37 years or 34 years of watching movies, it's still the same as when it first happened many, many, many years ago.
My name is Paul Chen. I'm 35 years old, and I work as an assistant manager at our local movie theater. It's kind of a percentage system. 90, 95, and sometimes up to 98, 99% of the ticket sales all go back to the studio.
I am currently floor staff, which means I either work at the candy counter or I work in the box office. But prior to 2012, I was a projectionist. And I think I was a projectionist for about 10 years.
I mean, you see a big Hollywood movie, it makes, like, typically it costs maybe, $100 million to make, but it'll gross maybe $200-300 million. And something crazy like Batman Superman, that made, over $700 million. It'd be nice if, a small percentage of that was sort of kicked back to the company that can be distributed to the workers. I mean, we're the ones who make sure that your movie looks good on screen for your customers, right? For our customers, the theaters and the studios.
I think it's a question of a lot of people consider the movie theater job or the video store job or the fast food job or the coffee shop job as being a job for unskilled, untrained young high school students / college students. And people will come in and they'll say, "Oh, I worked in this movie theater when I was in high school, and I worked here for 3 years." What theater chains are trying to do is get the most amount of money per customer, because it used to be you had 50 customers and they all spent like $2. Now you have 5 customers and we're trying to get $20 a piece from them. It's a means of trying to figure out the right formula to apply to the customers so that you can cover your expenses. There's also been a lot of gentrification in downtown city areas. Property prices are rising, so rent on movie theaters can't be cheap.
There's just a lot of people who've gone to the movies all their lives, and they can definitely remember when things were a lot less expensive, and they see prices now and they just bulk. They don't watch movies every week or every month or something. They'll go once in a while, and when you go so infrequently, you really notice the price jump. When people ask me, it's never an easy conversation. Some people are more understanding than others. But yeah, I just tell them the truth. I explain to them the reality that the movie ticket goes back to the movie studio, and they collect 90, 95, 99% of that. We might get drop in the bucket, literal coins. Well, definitely not a whole dollar from those tickets. So, the main revenue of the theater are the concessions. So when you buy popcorn or have some soda or get some candy, I mean, that money's going back to the theater and keeping it open. Those are the sales that are really paying the wages of the concessionaire, the box officer, and the ushers. It's never going to be. We're never going to get a giant cut from the movie ticket sales, no matter how well it does. So I just tell them the truth. It's just we don't get that money. That money's going somewhere else, and though you're giving the money to our employees, we don't keep it. It goes right back to a studio, and then if you want to get something at concession stand, that's really what supports us.
Or my recommendation is to cut concessions prices, but I don't think this is going to happen. But if that's something that I would do and try and get more people to buy something as they come in instead of more money per person, because that tends to turn people off. Lots of people will come in and they'll look at the prices and they'll just smile and they'll be like, no thank you. Or they'll be like, wow, it's so expensive. And then they'll look around at everybody else and say that again. And it's like, yes, we know it's expensive, but I tell them at least it's not the ballpark.
They could increase the amount, so the percentage they give theaters for the ticket sales. So if a movie does particularly well, then that percentage will be, that total amount will be higher. Or if it doesn't do that well, then the total amount will be lower. And, just keep it proportional to a degree. It really would be in their own best interest in that if you made the job competitive, I mean, you really created a living wage for people to work at. I mean, the job would be competitive. People will want the job so badly that they would really work hard. They would, everyone's been to the theater, right? And it varies from theater to theater. And sometimes you get some really great customer service, and sometimes you don't. But if you made the base wage a real living wage, people will compete for that job. And when they come to work, they will really work hard because, they don't want to lose that job. They will give you the best customer service you've ever seen if you just make that wage something they could live on. But if you don't, I mean, you get what you pay for to a certain degree, right? If someone has to work two jobs, neither job's going to get their full attention or focus. And they will just work as hard as they have to not to get fired. And you just get that from place to place.
I would be very sad if there were a world where there was not a single movie theater ever again, just due to rising costs and just the way the model is it's not super profitable. It's the sort of thing that you just do for, ultimately for passion and for some money.
If I could talk to a Hollywood executive and let them know how much of their business, is directly corresponds to what we do, that'd be a crazy opportunity, wouldn't it? I guess the first thing I tell them is we're both in the entertainment industry. We both, make an effort to create something, to present something to the public that they want to experience, they want to see. And, as far as making sure that product is the best it can be, best it possibly can be, you need the best people. You need people who can really, bring their A game all the time.
I would ask them 2 questions. Do you remember your first movie? And do you remember that experience that made you want to get into the movies? I would like to see some fresh blood come into the old studio system. I feel like there's a lot of amazing, up and coming players who would make, possibly really, really amazing decisions on how things are done, and to possibly, preserve this experience.